Man, I look like such a prat. See these snapbacks, they do nothing for me.
I don't know how, but it doesn't look good. Happy?
No. Stephen, I've known you for about 4 years. I've basically taken to following you around the UK. So tell the viewers, who do we take with the team on a typical trip? So let's say we're going to do an epic voyage to Ireland. Who goes with you and what do you take?
Collection of family and friends, really, like still kind of grassroots level team, but formally we take myself as driver, we'll take a spotter who's Stitch, like some Mandela, we took 4 mechanics, so we took Jamie Lundy, Dean from Peregrine, and Kieran and Matthew that are the kind of regulars in the pit crew. Normally Paul, you'll be with us as well, doing media.
So you got a team, say half a dozen core, I guess, people on the spanners, I guess.
Yeah. I've got my missus Michelle and I've got the 2 boys, Max and Zach.
Are they getting a lot from it yet?
Max is definitely he's just over 2 years old, but when you see Max, he's more grown up than other 2-year-olds just now.
Yeah.
He's been around loads. Like you can take him to events and he'll quite happily run about the pits, and he loves attention. So he's he's brilliant.
5 years time, hi Max.
Retirement plan. They can drive it when they're older. It definitely it did genuinely worry me when we first had kids and that as well. Going like, how is this going to work? Because I obviously wanted to keep the dream alive and keep everything going as well. But it is a lot harder bringing children to a racetrack. That's for sure, but it's definitely one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So I'm glad we've kept at it as well. It wasn't like the plan was never going to be step away from this stuff. It was like we'll just make it work. But we go away as a family unit now. So we go away with me, Michelle, 2 boys, but also my mum and dad are there at a lot of events, and rest of the family, aunties, uncles, and stuff like that. So there's always a big squad.
And you like to book a mansion now as well, isn't it?
Like Ireland.
You're beyond the Premier Inn now.
Well, the thing is when there was 16 years away for Ireland there, and when there's that many people, it's actually cheaper to book an Airbnb rather than just everybody booking separate rooms at a Premier Inn. We managed to get like a proper mansion at Mondello. It was brilliant because it then made the weekend more special that we were going back to their own area to chill and get a wee drink and have a laugh, and it just makes the weekends a wee bit more special when you go away.
Your travelling setup is fairly basic compared to what you're seeing at Driftmasters now. So you're van and trailer still, right?
Yeah. We were just talking about that, but we're very much a small fish in a big pond when we go to these events now, but I'm fine with that. It's totally fine. It's like if there's always going to be a bigger fish, especially in motorsport. When we go away, we're taking a fairly simple setup where we're taking a large wheelbase, high top Transit, Brian James trailer, cars in the back, and the van's loaded, and we've got all our tools, equipment, a fairly basic pit setup. So we'll get a 6x3 metre gazebo, but we'll brand it up and make it look as professional as we can for the kind of level we're at. But and how about, pretty good. I'm proud of the setup though, in all honesty. Like I'm putting it down maybe a little bit in chat like this, but I'm really proud of the setup that we've got now and we turn up with and show up with.
Tell me a little bit about the sort of spares that you have to bring with you on track. So drifting's great because you got a loan of some, what was it, coil packs or something you got? So you need to take some spares, but drifting's great because people will loan you things also. Tell us about what you take.
Well, that is one of the better things about drifting. It's what's the word, a lot more camaraderie. In terms of like if historically with other forms of motorsport I've done, if somebody is out, you think of that as that's one less person to worry about in the competition, but drifters always help each other out, so that's a definite big positive about the sport. We take as much as we can is really the answer. As much as we can in terms of a Ford and somebody that's donated, the likes of VTEC Tam, he donated us a couple of diffs. Not donated, don't get us for free, but
if you needed them, they were in the van.
Yeah, like tyre count, that's the largest space take up in the van.
Goes all the way to the roof.
Yeah, 32. I think we had 32 tyres for that round there. Now, whenever we were fortunate enough, we ended up having a wet day in the first practice day, so you're not going through tyres quite as fast. Surprisingly though, you are still going through tyres in the wet, which is mind-blowing at this level, but you'll do tyres now. If you're on good racetrack surface, what Mondello is, and like Pembrey circuit, you'll still do a set of tyres in maybe 4 laps in the wet, which is nuts. That's the level we're at. But in terms of spares packages, the kind of setup we take away is mainly tyres, but we'll then get all the kind of consumables that we'll usually use. So we'll take spare diffs, spare shafts, coilovers, and like mix in with a couple of like front control arms, a couple of rear arms. The one thing we didn't quite have enough of when we were at Mondello was coil packs, but we will always have spark plugs and coil packs on hand, The only issue we had with the coil packs is we had one that wasn't right, and we weren't able to determine what exact one. We had only 3 brand new ones sitting. And
so you can swap out all 6 at a time, so you had to do the hokey cokey.
Yeah, and the issue was only under boost, so we couldn't replicate it in the pits. So everything's working fine in the pits, but it's only under high boost that you were getting a failed spark. So that was why we ended up borrowing Jack Shanahan's coil packs.
Did you give them back?
We gave them back. No, we only needed them for I think 1 lap and then gave them back. Yeah, as much as we can is really the answer.
Do you think you'll ever get to a point where you have enough? Because it seems like something different goes every time in motorsport.
It's always a thing you'll never bring either. It's always like sometimes even in the garage you'll be like, I'll not need a random sensor.
I remember one point we needed wood screws.
Yeah.
We needed wood screws for the spoiler. We didn't have wood screws. I think I ended up robbing Jack Coburn for some screws.
I know what the wood screws were for the dash. The dashes. We had the dash out or something like that and had to put the screen back in, and it was held in with self-tappers. We've upgraded quite a bit since then, but I remember that. But yeah, it's whatever you don't bring is what you'll need. So we typically will try and bring as much as we can.
But you've got your own compressor, your own power, your own tool set.
We've got power stations. So in terms of the tooling that we bring, we've got power stations, compressors, fans for keeping the car cool, various chargers, power tools, jacks, axle stands, and pretty much every tool that you'd ever need to strip this car apart, we've got in the van. So it is a proper, full pit setup that we've got, where there's not much that can go wrong with this car that we couldn't confidently fix at the racetrack.